With every topic discussed, we're lighting up the dark. Welcome to the show where opinions collide. Fashion and politics, come take a ride. Cultures evolving, can you feel the beat? We've kept us here, we'll never face defeat. Talk about the trends, what's hot in the news, conservative views, hear the different cues. From music to the media, we cover it all. In a land filled with chatter, we'll always stand tall. So join me now, let's break it down. With Kev in your corner, wear that crown. Welcome to the show where opinions collide. Fashion and politics, come take a ride. Cultures evolving, can you feel the beat? Kev stood us here, we'll never face defeat. Kept it real, no need to pretend. With every conversation we'll bring back the trend. Kept it real, no need to pretend. With every conversation we'll bring back the trend. Kept it real, no need to pretend. With every conversation we'll bring back the trend. Let's break it down. Politics and fashion in this crazy town. Conservative views, but keep it real. Kev starters here, come and feel the deal. Facts on the table, no room for doubt. Welcome to the Kev Starter Show tonight. We're breaking it down, we're ready to ignite. Facts and opinions, come join the flow. In this crazy world, we're leading the show. Welcome to the Kev Starter Show tonight. We're breaking it down, ready to ignite. Facts and opinions, come join the flow. In this crazy world, we're leading the show. Current topics trending will shine the light. Music and culture together we will fight. From the media's whispers to the loudest noise, sharing the truth, giving you the voice. So grab a seat, now let's start the ride. Welcome to the Kev Starter Show tonight. We're breaking it down, we're ready to ignite. Facts and opinions, come join the flow. In this crazy world, we're leading the show. So grab a seat now, let's start the ride. Kev Starter's here, you can't take a seat. Oh, grab a seat now, let's start the ride. Oh, Kev Starter's here. Welcome to the Kev Starter Show tonight. We're breaking it down, we're ready to ignite. Facts and opinions, come join the flow. In this crazy world, we're leading the show. Thanks for tuning in, don't miss a beat. We Kev Starter's here, you can't take a seat.
Yeah. Hey. We back. Hey, listen. We back. We are back, man. Feel good to be back. Damn good to be back, man. So, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I was having some technical difficulty. I know I was supposed to start 10 35 minutes ago, but I got it together. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna make it do what it do. Hopefully everybody is having a great week. I feel good. I'm in a good mood. I just finished eating some good food. Um, but we got a reaction video, man. Lara Trump had went on a Breakfast Club, and I think that she gave them nothing but straight facts, right? So I got to see a little bit of the interview. I got to see clips on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And from what I seen, she was on there dropping some facts. Facts. But without further ado, I say we get into the interview. Let's do it. Let's do it. Get my shit set up right though. Let's do it. Lara Trump. Just make sure I got my stuff set up right. All right. We good. We good. We good. Let's go. Oh man, give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. One second. Hold on. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta let's do it. I had to go and take care of something real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? It might have been your girl. You know what I'm saying? You never know over here. Never know whenever you dealing with Kev Stutters, man. All right, let's go.
Naively thought, look, if you have good intentions and you do the right things and you're a good person, then if Donald Trump became president.
Oh, is it just me or is Lara Trump kind of cute? You know what I'm saying? Like she kind of cute. I mean, just a little something. You know what I mean? I've seen a whole lot worse. I'll tell you that.
I think we all thought after he won in 2016, oh, well, then all the craziness will stop. Everybody will rally behind the person who's president of the United States, because we should all want our president to be successful. That is success for America. And obviously, we were very wrong about that.
Well, what is he? Well, two things. Well, I want to go back to one thing first. I wonder what he learned from his 2000 campaign. That
2016 campaign?
Well, he ran in 2000 too, officially.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't actually talked to him about that.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I mean,
I just brought that up because you said that when you talked about the vice president campaign in 2020. Sometimes campaigns aren't successful. Joe Biden ran a bunch of times before he actually won.
He sure did.
Trump ran before he actually won. So I brought that up.
I don't know if he officially.
All right, let me break this down real quick. So Trump was a part of a political party at the time that was called the Reform Party, right? So Trump wasn't actually planning on running for president then. He was just affiliated with the party. Donald Trump was supposed to fund whoever the person was that was going to be running for president. He wasn't going to run for president as a part of the Reform Party. The reason why Donald Trump had ended up leaving the Reform Party is because the people that was over the party had allowed David Duke to come into the Reform Party. And Donald Trump had left because he said that guy is a Klansman and I don't want to be associated with that. That's what happened. Donald Trump did not run for president in the year 2000.
Officially
2000.
Ran.
In 2000,
well, if he did, it didn't go very far from my memory. I don't know that there was any official announcement as far as I know. But look, I think he felt the right time was 2016. I think he looked at what was going on. And This is a businessman. And I think a lot of what he did that was very beneficial to this country has to do with businesses, with the economy, with jobs. Those were things that were really important to him. And you hear him talk about it now. You know, he recently was talking about tariffs and how he wants to apply.
Man, listen, this lady is so articulate. So articulate. But to speak on what she was saying though, like, yo, nobody can say that their money did not go further whenever Donald Trump was in office. Your money had went further. Gas was cheaper. I mean, everything, man. Life was just so much better, man. 2016 through 2020, before COVID happened, though.
By tariffs to countries who are, it's really awful to see how so many jobs, factories have gone overseas. We want to see made in the USA on more. And you saw that happening when he was in the White House. You saw more people employed in this country than we've ever had employed in the history of America. You had more money in your pocket. You had inflation at 1.9%. It was a very different feeling when he was in the White House. And I think that's why you're seeing such great support for this man. You don't have to love everything he says. You don't have to love everything he posts on X or Truth Social or whatever. But you do have to be honest that your life probably felt a lot better with Donald Trump in the White House. And I think that that's one of the reasons that he's working so hard, because he knows he can do the job. He did.
Exactly. The man know that he can do the job. But then you got people out there that are trying to stop him. Like Letitia James, which that case had got completely thrown out. Thank God. Because she was on a witch hunt, was what she was doing. Then you got Fonnie Willis in Atlanta who can't keep her legs closed. Yo, and come to find out, yo, I don't know if y'all knew this, but did y'all know that Fonnie Willis had went to the White House to go and meet with Kamala Harris before, the day before they had found those charges on him in Atlanta? Y'all got to look that up, man.
Did it one time before.
Question: why are tariffs considered good business when you know that it's going to cause the cost of typical American household items to go up significantly?
Well, he explained
like a bunch of economists say that it'll cost the average American $2,600 extra.
See, Charlemagne is so ignorant whenever it comes to politics, and whenever it comes to things like tariffs, right? So, if tariffs were so bad, right? Why did Joe Biden and Kamala Harris leave a lot of the tariffs that Trump already had set in place whenever he was president? They just had left them there. They could have undid those tariffs. But see, this is the thing. The liberal media and Democrats have to try to make it seem like everything that Donald Trump wants to do is something bad. They're like, oh, so Donald Trump wants to add more tariffs on China. Well, that's going to make household goods and everything go up. Nigga, everything is already up. Everything is high as hell right now. Bro, these people don't know what the hell they talking about, bro. But I'm gonna let them continue.
Yeah.
I think that he explained this the other day when he was sitting down with, I believe it was Bloomberg, that, look, the reality is that it's going to force people to bring their companies back to the United States. And he really believes that.
But it's going to hurt a lot of American citizens in the process of that. Because it's not like these companies are going to turn up and
I don't
change
think
over,
so.
come over back overnight.
Well, let's talk. I mean,
yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. But what's the main goal? In the long run, things will be better. We don't need a bunch of businesses and corporations deciding to leave America. That's bad for business, and that's bad for everybody. So tell me this, Charlemagne, which one is worse? If people have to struggle just for a little bit, or if more companies leave and it hurts America in the long run for years and years to come? Which one is better, Charlemagne?
If you want to talk about hurting American citizens, the first thing that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did, their first executive order in the White House,
the Keystone
XL pipeline.
Yep.
That was something that gave us our energy independence. It was so bad for America. That drove up gas prices, that caused inflation to continue to go sky high. It enriched our adversaries like Russia and Iran, because now they were supplying oil for the rest of the world instead of the United States. It put us in such a weakened state. So, we want to drill, baby, drill. That's what Donald Trump always says. We have so much liquid gold.
Biden has drilled more than Trump.
Underneath our, why did he shut down the Keystone XL pipeline?
I have no idea, but Biden has drilled more than Trump.
Strategic petroleum reserves, which are actually supposed to be used for emergency situations, for war times. The things
but has Biden drilled more than Trump?
I don't believe that's true.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's not no damn fact. Listen, bro, I don't believe shit that come out of these damn Democrats' mouth. I'm not even going to lie to you. Yo, these people lie so much, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, yo, they've literally convinced people that everything that Donald Trump or any Republican says is a lie, right? To the point to where people believe that everything that a Democrat tells them is the truth, which is nonsense. Nobody should be taking anything that a politician says 100% as facts, word for word. Listen, I am voting for Donald Trump. I fact check Donald Trump too. I fact check JD Vance too. I fact check Byron Donalds too. And the difference is, whenever I fact check these people, 98% of the time, what I find on the internet, it comes out to be true. But whenever I start fact checking Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and a bunch of these other Democrats, it usually comes back as bullshit. Like 97, 98% of the time, it's just a damn lie. All they do is lie, no matter what. Got Trump on my mind. I ain't never giving up. Let me stop, man. Let me get back into it.
Where?
You can look it up. He's drilled more than Trump.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's true at all. And
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump was obviously a proponent of being energy independent and energy dominant as a country. And we are not right now. And that puts us in a very weakened state. And you would not have seen the issue in the Middle East right now. And you likely wouldn't have seen the issue with Russia and Ukraine had those countries, had Iran not had the funding and the money coming in from the oil, had Russia not had the funding and the money coming in from the oil. It's a terrible thing to see. And so, I think that you can look at a lot of things and second guess them with Donald Trump and say, well, what about this? What about that? Think about how it felt.
That's a fact. Think about how it felt 2016 through 2020. Was your rent a lot cheaper then? Was grocery prices a lot cheaper then? Box did not cost. Matter of fact, box was still, what, $35, $40? Like, you could go out and you could get you a nice piece of box for $35 to $40. Now, just to get some box, you might be paying like $70, $75 for all y'all out there who actually pay for box. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had to do that though in my lifetime. But y'all know, hey, if you paying for box, you definitely know.
Think about how much more money you had in your pocket. Think about so many people were finally able to go on a vacation for the first time when he was in the White House. And
I know I did. Hey, shout out to Puerto Rico.
Those are real tangible things. And right now, life is very hard for so many people in this country. I travel all over the place and I constantly am in airports and restaurants. And I constantly am approached by people who say, I cannot afford not to vote for Donald Trump. And I think they really mean that. And whether you look at our southern border, the influx of people who've come in this country, it's detrimental to so many aspects of our society.
That's a fact. We really cannot afford to not vote for Donald Trump. No matter how you feel about Donald Trump, deep down in your soul that life was so much better 2016 through 2020. No matter how you feel about this man. Now, we all know that Donald Trump is not perfect. Every once in a while, he's going to say something stupid. He's going to say something to make you be like, man, God damn it, why the hell he say that dumb shit? But that's just who Donald Trump is. That's just who he is. We all know Donald Trump. Every American in this country knows exactly who Donald Trump is. We all know exactly who he is. There ain't no faking the funk with him. There ain't no guessing. You know exactly what you're gonna get. And that's all you really can ask for from a lot of people, not just from politicians. I want to know exactly who you are. I need to know exactly where you stand. This is facts.
society. It's something that we've spent so much money on here in New York, $12 billion over 3 years. It's costing the city of New York to house illegal immigrants. And so I think whenever push comes to shove and we're looking at this election right now, there's so many people who might not love everything Donald Trump's ever said, but they certainly want to go vote for him because they want their life back. They want more money in their pocket and they want a safer community and they want peace agreements.
There's a lot of people that say that,
Hold on, real quick. I do want to just note that inflation is down, though.
It's coming down.
It's like the 2.5%.
It's coming.
Yo, I cannot stand when ninjas bring shit like this up. Yes, inflation is at 2.5% right now. What about the other 3 years? What about the other 3 years that this supposed to be administration that I call a regime had put people through hell? Well, inflation is down 2.5%. I don't give a damn. Give me the guy that had it down to 1.4 to 1.5%. Bring that dude back. Because this 2.5 shit is not working. And from 2021 all the way up until March of this year, inflation was at 8-9%, depending on where you live at. And yes, inflation is coming down, but 2.5%, nah, bro, we can get it down way lower than that.
Just
down,
that the
but
prices
it's not
are still
down,
so elevated.
But wage growth has not kept up with the rise in inflation, and it's causing people to really hurt around this country. They really can't make their basic ends meet right now.
I mean, inflations are down, but the prices are up. I mean, whose fault is that? That's more so the corporations than it is government.
Prices are, say that again?
Inflation is down, but the prices are up.
Inflation is not down nearly enough. You can bring
2.5%.
You can bring inflation down.
He's saying 2.5%. Like that's a great thing. Whenever we just came from 1.4 to 1.5%, that's not good. These people deride so hard for Democrats. Like they
Significantly, and I think if we had an energy independent country, it would really help.
Is that 2.5%?
I was going to ask, a lot of people feel that Trump is.
Matter of fact, have anybody ever seen Charlemagne or anybody on the Breakfast Club hold any Democrat accountable? Like for anything. And another thing that I'm starting to notice about this interview is that whenever Byron Donalds was up there, they did not have this much energy, bro. Man, listen, most of the time they was on mute when Byron Donalds was up there. But now that it's a female up there, they all got so much to say. I find that interesting.
Is racist, and what do you say to that? In 73, of course, a lot of people feel that Trump is racist, and what do you say to that? In 73,
bullshit.
Of course, it was when he got sued for not renting to African Americans, and 89 when he took out the ad in the paper, and even saying Obama wasn't born here and show his birth certificate, and there's numerous things. So what do you say to that?
Well, I think that's ridiculous. I've known this man for 16 years, and you can go to each of those incidents and. There was never any.
Yeah, matter of fact, let me speak on this real quick before she give her spiel. Now, nothing was ever proven, right? Whenever Donald Trump was sued for allegedly not renting to black people, right? Yes, he did settle, but rich people settle on things all the time. And a lot of times they settle just so that they don't have to keep on going back and forth to court, have been to deal with such and such paperwork, pay lawyer fees. So it's just best that, hey, I'll just settle and get this shit over with. And let's be honest, Donald Trump is not hurting for money. Well, at the time, he was not hurting for money. Matter of fact, he still isn't hurting for money. But all these people that say that Donald Trump is a racist, Donald Trump is not a racist. From what I can see, Donald Trump is an equal shit giver. He talks bad about everybody. It don't give a damn if you black, white, Mexican, Chinese, whoever. He's gonna be authentically him.
Proof of anything with the houses that you're talking about.
He set it off for that,
Yeah,
right?
they said that was, and there was no admission of anything there. Central Park 5, there were so many people. You had a Democrat, governor, Democrat, DA who prosecuted the guys, and they admitted to it. There were a lot of people in New York
They were
at that time.
exonerated and freed. And
See, these people get on my fucking nerves. I swear to God, they get on my nerves. She just pointed out that there was a Democratic prosecutor, and they had nothing to say. These people, and they got the nerve to say that I'm an independent. We've never seen them hold any Democrat accountable. Anytime that any Democrat comes up there, it's all jokes and giggles, everybody laughing, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have a good time. But let a Republican come up there. It's almost like everything that comes out of a Republican's mouth to them is an automatic lie. Like they will never, like, bruh, like, man, go ahead, man.
there was never an apology, never sorry
However,
for my bad.
Why? I know y'all. Hold on. Bear with me. Listen, the Central Park 5, they admitted to being guilty. They had admitted to it. Whenever it came out that they had admitted to it, Donald Trump had put an ad inside of the paper, right? Damn near the whole world had thought that these people were guilty. But now all of a sudden, Donald Trump thinks that they're guilty. And now all of a sudden, it is a big ass issue. Now, come to find out years later that they were not guilty. Donald Trump, could he have apologized? Yeah, absolutely. But he didn't. So what? The Central Park 5 had got paid $41 million. Move the fuck on. Move on.
Say that you have to look at somebody and what they actually have done. And Donald Trump really was very beneficial to the Black community when he was in the White House. I will say I've never seen
Very much so.
this man say a racist thing. I think the attacks are fairly. Why is that funny, Charlemagne?
I'm just like, it's hysterical. But I mean,
But no, Charlemagne,
because people act like
listen.
there's no such thing as Google, or we don't have TV.
Well, what is it that you think that he said?
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
How was that racist? Hold on. How was anything that he just said was racist? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and run that back. Hold
Bringing
on.
drugs. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Why is calling out the obvious such a bad thing? He didn't say that all Mexicans are rapists. All Mexicans are bringing guns. He said when Mexico sends their people, they aren't sending the best. They aren't sending their best. That's not racist at all. And they're not sending their fucking best. As you can see right now, 13,000 criminals and I think 40 people that was on the terrorist watch list was released into our country. Where's the lie?
This morning, a bitter backlash after President Trump referred to Haiti and African nations as S-hole countries during.
They are. These places are shitholes. I don't give a damn about Africa. I don't give a damn about Haiti. These places are pieces of shit. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. But whenever somebody points it out, now all of a sudden, oh man, you know what? Like you can't be saying all that. You know what I'm saying? All that Africa is the motherland, and the motherland is where everybody come from. Everybody come from. Man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Damn Africa. Africa ain't never did a damn thing for me. And most of them Africans over there don't even like African Americans. I don't want to visit Africa. I don't give a damn about Africa. As far as I'm concerned, Africa can kiss my ass. I'm an American. I'm proud one too.
A meeting on immigration Thursday.
This remark by the President of the United States smacks of blatant racism.
Here's what I'll say. You know, this is a man who, as I said in the beginning, was beloved by so many people in this country. And he was friends with everybody.
A lot of celebrities.
Jesse Jackson, by the way,
Please don't,
his Rainbow
don't do
Coalition.
That. He had black friends. That's not going to work.
No. He let them stay rent-free in one of his buildings. The Rainbow Coalition.
She just said that, and I guarantee you that they're not going to acknowledge it because she's a Republican.
Because he felt like at the time that was a very important thing. You can go pick apart somebody all you want. It is a traditional talking point to attack Republicans, to call them racist.
Facts.
But when you look at the things that he wants for this country, he wants every person to be successful. He wants Black Americans to be successful, Hispanic Americans to be successful, women to be successful. And he worked that way when he was in the White House. And whether you want to talk about actually fun.
And let me speak on this too, real quick. A lot of things that Donald Trump had put in place for Black people whenever he was the president are still on the books today, and Black folks don't even use it. We don't even use it. Matter of fact, 90% of us don't even know that they're even there. Because all we watch is liberal news. The majority of Black folks, we watch CNN, we watch MSNBC, Joy Reid, the Teletubby, Roland Martin. Who else? Mark Lamont Hill's dumbass. He's not really dumb. Actually, the brother is very, very smart. But when it comes to common sense, man, the brother's gone. Just like the opportunity zones that Donald Trump put in place. A lot of people don't know that these opportunity zones that Donald Trump had put in place whenever he was in office, if you live in a lower income area, and if you own your own home, or if you own your own business, there are loans that you can take out to fix up your property that you don't even have to pay back. Donald Trump had put that in place, and we don't even use them. So what's happening right now is that you have all of these corporate companies that are going into Black neighborhoods, and they are buying houses from Black people, and they are using the opportunity zone money to fix up their houses and resell them to people. That's exactly what's happening. Black people are not taking advantage of none of this.
Funding in perpetuity, historically Black colleges and universities. Whether you want to talk about the First Step Act that allowed 30,000 nonviolent felons to be released from prison, who the 1994 crime bill actually put in prison. These are things that really...
They're not going to acknowledge any of the facts that she's dropping right now. They're not going to acknowledge any of it. Why? Y'all know why.
I feel like, spoken to a lot of people, but more so than anything, the economy right now is such that I don't care who you are. It is hurting you, and it is something that he wants to fix. He wants every American to have their shot at the American dream. And, you know, I hate that is the constant knee jerk is Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump is a racist. I can tell you he wants every person to be successful. He'll work for every American equally. He did that the first term when he was president, and he'll do it again.
Well, how you ask?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Give me 1 second, y'all. My kids. All right, let's get back to it.
Ask like, how do you ask Mexicans and Muslims to ignore a lot of the rhetoric, Haitians to ignore a lot of the rhetoric that he said about them, that is dangerous, that has villainized them, that has demonized them?
Well, I would say anyone who's coming to this country illegally, he's very against, and every American should be very
As we all should be. That's right. Talk to him, Laura.
against. If you're an American citizen, Donald Trump doesn't care your religion. He doesn't care which.
Hey, you know what I think? I don't even think that Charlemagne or DJ Envy or the female that's in this video, I don't even think that they're against illegal immigration at all. I think that they are for whatever Democrats are for. Like whatever Democrats are saying goes, they are all in with it.
What you look like. He will work for you, and he wants to make this country safe for you. We should all want a secure southern border. A lot of the comments get misconstrued that he says about people coming here illegally. They're breaking our federal law to come here illegally, and that should be upsetting to everyone.
But when you make these broad generalizations, you do hurt the Haitian Americans that are here, the Mexican Americans that are here. They all get labeled and villainized and demonized.
Yeah, but you know what? I think people are fine.
Yo, I know what he's getting at too. He's talking about the cats and dog thing. Haitians are eating cats and dogs. Donald Trump was just reporting what he's seen on the TV. This is what they were reporting in Ohio. This is what they were reporting on the local news stations in Springfield and Columbus, Ohio. So Donald Trump seen that and said, hey, they are eating the dogs. They are eating the cats. This is what was being reported. But then you got the liberal media who has to villainize everything that Donald Trump says and has to make it seem like he's lying. I'm sick of these damn people, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Finally seeing through that it's very easy to clip up something like that and say like, oh, let's push this out here. When he's referencing these things, he's talking about people who are illegally in our country. He doesn't want us to have 350 people on the terror watch list here. There's a guy who was arrested the other day, an ISIS member who was arrested the other day who had planned a November 5th election day attack on American citizens. ISIS was eradicated.
They're not even going to acknowledge that. Anytime that she gives them a fact, they don't say a word. And what she's talking about actually happened in Moore, Oklahoma. I actually live in Oklahoma. So for a lot of y'all who don't know the story, there was a guy from Afghanistan who was planning an attack on election day. He was planning on going to a voting place, and he was planning on shooting it up. He was caught with 500 rounds, like 3 AK-47s, something crazy. I'm just glad that they caught his dumb ass. Yeah. Don't be coming over here shooting up shit, especially in the great state of Oklahoma.
Under Donald Trump. We did not even talk about it anymore. He got into the White House and he talked to his top military brass and he said, okay, you guys tell me, how long is it going to take to deal with ISIS? Because ISIS was a big threat. People were constantly talking about, worried about terror attacks. And they said, sir, it's going to take us a couple years, maybe. You know, we have to call the White House every time we want to have some big operation. And he said, how about this? You guys just go do whatever it is you need to do. You don't need to call me. You guys are the experts. I'm not a military expert. You take care of it and let's see what happens. 4 weeks.
Leadership. That's leadership. He didn't try to involve himself in every single situation that they had going on over there. Y'all take care of it. Y'all know what to do. Get it done.
ISIS was gone. The fact that we're talking about ISIS back in the here in the United States of America, an ISIS member should terrify everybody. The open border has been a disaster. So yeah, he's upset about it. And yes, he says things about people coming here illegally, and rightly so. And you and I, as American citizens, should be the ones absolutely infuriated that this has been allowed to happen.
I agree with you. The border is a disaster. I feel like the border is a bipartisan issue, though, because the border has been terrible under multiple administrations.
Well, we had the lowest border cross.
The border is not a bipartisan issue. The border should be something that every single American agrees on. The border should some things just do not need to be bipartisan. That border needs to be closed. And even if there is any Americans who disagree with that, so what? Get over it. We're closing the border. No country on this planet, any great functioning country, does not have an open border. But these people who disagree with the border being closed think that the border should just be open and we should just let any and everybody in just because we have so many resources. No, the fuck we don't. There are 330 million people who live in America. We do not need more people here. Not as many as they have coming across the border right now. We definitely do not need that. I seen a stat a couple days ago where they was like, yo, it is up to 13 to 15 million people that have came into this country over this last 3.5 years. And people got the nerve not to be upset with that. You got so many people coming into this country. They are committing crimes. They are raping children, raping women. The job of a U.S. president is to keep us safe and to not make our lives harder. The Biden and Harris regime, yeah, I said it, regime, has not done that at all. But you got people out here who are willing to go to bat for these people. After they done put this whole country through hell this past 3.5 years.
Crossings when Donald Trump was in the White House that we've ever had.
Yes, but I still feel like it's going to take some bipartisan legislation, to actually fix things at the border. You can't do executive orders.
This dude is an idiot, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Yo, Charlemagne is a damn idiot. Why can't you do executive orders? Donald Trump did it, and border crossings were down, way down. 1 million people came into this country 2016 through 2020. 1 million people compared to 2020 through 2024, 12 to 15 million. That executive order sounds like a great idea, doesn't it, Charlemagne? This nigga's an idiot, man.
You can't do that. So how come they can't come to terms on that? And why did Donald Trump shoot down what they said was one of the most comprehensive bipartisan border bills that
if you actually read what was in there, there was like $60 billion for Ukraine. There were so many issues with that. It would allow 1.8 million.
That bill was never going to get passed. I wish they stopped with this bullshit. That bill was never going to get passed. And a lot of time, and let me speak on this too, real quick. So whenever they come up with these bills and things like that, they put a fancy headline on it, like the border bill or the Inflation Reduction Act or the American Care Act and all this other bullshit, right? They put so much garbage, complete garbage into these bills. And then whenever the bill doesn't get passed, they go to the people, Democrats do this, and they say, Republicans have shut down the bill when they know damn well the bill was not going to get passed in the first place because they packed so much bullshit in there that they know that Republicans are not going to agree with. They know this. These people are not stupid by far. Well, Kamala Harris might be a little, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, they know that these bills are not going to get passed. Like, what was it? Less than $60 billion to Ukraine. Less than like another 25 billion to Israel, which I'm actually okay with the money going to Israel. Israel is our ally, but Ukraine, listen, you know what? I don't want to get canceled on YouTube. I'm gonna just keep it quiet. I'm gonna just say this. I think that money should have stayed here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Illegal immigrants into our country a year. I mean, it was nonsense, honestly, Charlemagne. And we should all want a secure southern border. That's why Donald Trump built over 500 miles of border wall when he was in office. And, I went down to the border wall and I saw it with my own eyes. I went down to Yuma, Arizona about a month ago. And to talk to the people in those communities, look, they say now every state is a border state because of this. The people who live in Yuma, Arizona are being so negatively impacted. If you're a pregnant woman in Yuma, Arizona, they kind of say, you may not want to plan to have a baby in our hospitals here because they're so overrun taking care of people who cross the border. It's dangerous. Oh,
that's terrible. That's just terrible. Think about it. If you live in your city, you got government officials telling you that you might not want to get pregnant to have a baby because we have to care for the illegal immigrants that are over here. But then whenever Donald Trump says that he wants to put America first, they look at him like he's fucking crazy. Give me a break, bro.
They say a third of women are sexually assaulted. The people there told me it's probably closer to 50% who come up over the southern border. So it's terrible for them. But because of them having to take care of all the illegal migrants coming over, you can't even be assured you're going to have a place to deliver a baby in Yuma, Arizona. They say you're going to have to drive either 2 hours to San Diego or 3 hours north to Phoenix. And
I guarantee you that they not about to acknowledge nothing that she said. Absolutely nothing. Because she's a Republican. They only agree with Democrats.
Having gone and seen it with my own eyes, I'll tell you the most infuriating part to me. You have this border wall that Donald Trump built, and then laying down on the ground where you have a wide open section are pieces of the border wall that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because they campaigned and said, we will not build another foot of Donald Trump's border wall. It's laying on the ground. And there are people who come right through there. They could stand it up right now if they wanted to, but they won't do it. That is very frustrating.
I'll tell you one even better, too. Something that Lara Trump didn't mention. But he said that Donald Trump has shut down the border bill, right? Meaning that Democrats did want to pass this bill. The Biden and Harris administration wanted to get this bill done. If that's the case, why did the Biden and Harris administration sue the state of Texas? Because Texas was trying to close the borders on their own. As a matter of fact, they were going to close the borders on their own without the federal government help. Without their help. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris said, hell no. We need them votes. We need to get as many people in here as possible so that when I run for president or that when Kamala runs for president in 2024, and if she or I win, we're going to grant these people citizenship, and that's going to be our brand new voting block. I know I ain't lying.
I think to see right now that we paid for that, it's right there ready to go. And if they're not leaving it on the ground, then they're selling it for, pennies on the dollar.
If the bipartisan border bill was so bad, like you say, how come so many Republicans were for it until Donald Trump intervened to say no?
See, he think that what he just said holds some weight. There are Democrats that actually have voted against this bill too. There are Democrats that actually voted against this bill. And another thing is this. All Republicans do not agree on everything. All Republicans are not friends. All Republicans don't hang out and go out to eat and stuff and things like that. But this is what these people think. They think that just because somebody is a Republican, that they are literally like brother and sister. It's crazy, bro.
I don't think Donald Trump intervened at all. He's not in an elected office right now. And
he literally told them not to do it.
I don't think that's true. But I also no. Well, ask Donald Trump yourself.
How the hell does Charlemagne know this? Don't nobody else know this for a fact, but Charlemagne knows. Bro, this is what's scary. Whenever you have people believing everything that come out of these Democratic politicians' mouth. And like I said before, you should not believe 100% of anything that comes out of anybody's mouth. Maybe, unless it's your wife or your spouse or something like that, or your child. But even then, we know how kids do. But a politician, oh hell no. I don't trust, man. Listen. Y'all better start fact checking these people. Do not have them lead you somewhere blindly. Have you believe in something that's not true at all?
He will tell
Now, that's
you.
a good question. I wonder for you, how tough is it having the last name Trump? Because you are the co-chair of the RNC.
Mm-hmm.
You do have the last name Trump. We know you're the daughter-in-law. How hard is it for you to have to always answer questions about Donald Trump?
Well, nothing prepares you for this. I can tell you, growing up where I did, I would have never expected to have the last name Trump. I certainly would have never expected to be involved in all of this. And yeah, sometimes it's challenging, but I'll tell you, I really believe when history looks back on this man, this is a man who never needed this job. You know, you have to think back, like we were talking about before, Donald Trump was beloved by so many. He really got involved.
It's a fact. Donald Trump was friends with everybody. Everybody from Oprah to Whoopi Goldberg to, man, Donald Trump was in damn near every rap song in the 90s. Hell, I would even say all the way up until the early 2000s. People love Donald Trump. Donald Trump was almost seen as like a media god, almost, in kind of a way. People love Donald Trump. People had adored Donald Trump. I remember when I was a kid and I was watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and there's an episode that Donald Trump was on. And you know how on sitcoms and things like that, like whenever a celebrity walks out, and Donald Trump had walked out, man, them people were screaming like a mother's man. Screaming, crying. But whenever you run for president, now all of a sudden everybody hates you. And we know why. The media is doing a hell of a job. A hell of a job. I gotta give them credit. The media does one hell of a job.
Involved in politics because he felt he could make a positive difference. Mm-hmm. And most people would have had that first term in office and seen how much they fought against him and said, you know what, I'm not going to do this again. But he decided to come back and do it again. They indicted him, not once, but 4 times, mugshot, obviously 2 assassination attempts. And this is a man who continues fighting for this country. And I will tell you, I'm incredibly proud to be his daughter-in-law. I'm incredibly proud to have the last name Trump.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Does it come with its challenges because there is a lot of negative information out there about Donald Trump? Absolutely. But I can't think of anything better that I could be doing right now than trying to fight for the future of this country. And I really believe that when people think about their life with Donald Trump in office and their life right now, they will always say, my life was better with him in office. And we should all want a great country. And that's what I want. I want it for my kids. I want it for everybody's kids and grandkids. And it's not just about right now, it's about the future of America.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's hear what idiotic thing that DJ Envy is about to say.
Saying he had a lot of celebrity friends and they turned on him.
He sure did.
How does he feel about that? Because, you know, in the 90s, the early 2000s, everybody was hanging with Donald Trump. They were mentioning him in songs and going to his parties and all these events. But they've all have.
And you don't think that that's strange that all of a sudden everybody had just switched up on him just like that whenever he ran for president? These people they don't think about this type of stuff. Oprah does not like Donald Trump right now. But there was an interview when Donald Trump was on the Oprah show. And she had the googly eyes, boy, when Donald Trump was on her show. And they were actually friends, like really, really good friends. So much so to the point to where they started talking about Donald Trump running for president. And Oprah was saying that I want to be your vice president if you won, because I know that me and you are gonna win. So was he racist back then or was he not? Make it make sense.
Turned. How does he feel about that? Do you know?
I don't think he cares at all. I think he knows what he's doing is so important right now. And to kind of finish my point, I think when history looks back on this man, he will truly go down as one of the greatest presidents this country's ever had. He put so much on the line. Look, he's lost zeros off the back of his net worth. He's the only president to donate his salary every quarter. He came out of the White House with less money than he went in.
And he's the only person to do that. The only one. The only one. Yo, you can say whatever you want to say about Donald Trump, man. A man is not perfect by far. But one thing that you can say about Donald Trump is that he loves this country. Because I can't even imagine him going through all this nonsense. Because Donald Trump could have easily just said, man, you know what? They are making it hard on me. I think that I'm going to go ahead and drop out of the race. Donald Trump said, nah, fuck that. I'm all in. I'm falling. The man is all in. I'm going to let her finish cooking, though.
And he does it because he loves this country. And he really does want to see us successful. We are the superpower of the world. That is such a huge deal. But things are going in the wrong way in a lot of different aspects. And I think one of the scariest things to him right now is nuclear war. You know, he talks about it all the time, that it is a real possibility right now. You have Russia.
That is scary, scary. Nuclear war, World War III. Not too many things scare me. But World War III, I'm going to act like a little bitch. I'm not even going to lie to you. But I will fight for this country if I have to, because I love this country that much. And let me say this to a lot of the people out there who's planning on voting for Kamala Harris pertaining to World War III. Russia is real. China is real. North Korea is definitely real. Kim Jong-un is a crazy mofo. I just seen a stat an article a few days ago that he killed like 10 to 15 men because they weren't ready for natural disasters. And you want to put Kamala Harris in front of him when she can't even answer a direct question from anybody? But anyways, let me go back. This is what we do on the Kevs of the show. Sometimes your boy get a little sidetracked, but we gonna bring it back. World War III is real. North Korea is real. China's real. All that, right? The world right now is in such a uncertain position. We've already had 4 years of Donald Trump. We already know what he can do. We already know what Donald Trump is capable of. Right? We don't know what Kamala Harris is planning on doing. We don't know what she's really capable of. I mean, to a certain extent, we do. She's not really capable of much. I think that she is intellectually lazy. I think that she's a little slow. But we need somebody certain right now to where we know exactly what to expect from them in this position. We don't need nobody that's going to make us guess. Like, man, I wonder how is she going to be dealing with Putin, or how is she going to be dealing with President Xi, or the dude from Iran. Yo, that motherfucker in Iran Hey, listen, if y'all think that Kim Jong-un is crazy, bruh, man, listen, bruh. I ain't.
You have Iran. You have a lot of bad actors out there who are chomping at the bit. They saw the way we exited from Afghanistan. They see the weakness right now in this White House. And, you know, you want a strong president because you want peace through strength. And that's what we had. He was the only president in 82 years not to have a new war under his leadership.
Now
that back.
What you just said just now about the nuclear war is something I agree with. I feel like there is too much casual conversation about nuclear war from a lot of different world leaders, and I don't think we're discussing it enough.
Yeah.
That I agree with you.
It's terrifying. And you know, there are a lot of people out there right now.
Does Charlemagne just agree with a Republican? Wow.
Now who aren't even thinking about this. But imagine the United States gets into World War III, and we indeed would be sucked right into it. The people, our young men and women in this country are going to be sent overseas, and it is going to be horrific. And on top of that, it won't be like any war we have ever seen ever in the history.
There's something else. Y'all give me a second, man. I got people. I need to change the title on this stream. What the hell? And it won't let me do it. Man. Hold on, y'all. Let me figure this out real quick. Let me see something real quick. All right, there we go. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to work.
And, you know, people gave him you remember before when he was running in 2016, they were like, we can't give this guy the nuclear codes.
I agree with that, though.
This nigga's an idiot.
Not to this point.
He was the only person, Charlemagne.
Nigga's an idiot. He said after the man already had been president for 4 years that he does not need the nuclear codes. He was already the president before. Yo, anytime that people start saying stupid stuff like this, he doesn't need the nuclear codes, or he's going to become a dictator, or he's going to shut down Social Security. Always remember in the back of your mind, he was already president before, and he didn't even try to do any of the things that you even talking about.
I mean, not to get us into a new war. He was the one who got us the Abraham Accords, peace agreements that people said were impossible in the Middle East.
They're not going to acknowledge it. Lara, Trump, listen, I like you a lot. Matter of fact, I love you, Lara Trump. Talking to them is like talking to a brick wall. They're not going to acknowledge anything that you're saying as fact. They're Democrats. The only people that says things that are true to them are other Democratic politicians. Anybody else that says anything to them is a flat out lie. Because that is what the media has trained them to do and to believe. Republicans are racist, Republicans are liars, and all they do is lie.
So why is that? Why are you concerned about Donald Trump with the nuclear?
Did you see what he did on January 6th?
Oh,
what did he do?
He got a
Not
little bit
January
upset.
What did he do on
He
January?
got a little bit upset and
these people.
used his words.
What words did he say though?
The words that you said earlier.
Peacefully and patriotically make your voices
And
heard.
then what happened after that?
So how were his words actually contributing to that?
Because I think that for me, him being able to just push a button, hypothetically speaking, it's a little bit scary because
He was already the president before. She said him being able to push a button, it is just a little bit scary. But the world was at peace when Donald Trump was in office. Make that make sense.
Because we've seen he gets a little bit erratic when he wants to.
Well, nothing happened for 4 years.
Yo, if she thinks that Donald Trump gets erratic, yo, imagine Kamala Harris being in there if she got the new codes. And let's say if she gets really, really emotional or that she's on her period or something like that, or she has a meeting with Putin or Kim Jong-un or President Xi, and it doesn't go the way that she wants it to go. And she's really, really emotional. You mean to tell me that you want for her to have the new codes over Donald Trump? Stop it.
When he was in the White House. And in fact, we had a peaceful world. We had a stable world. We had world leaders who were coming to the table to talk about issues like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, by the way. You know, Obama, when he left the White House, told my father-in-law, he said, the biggest problem you're going to have is North Korea. It is going to be your biggest challenge. It's going to be the hardest thing you're going to have to deal with. And so Donald Trump said, all right, I'm going to try to see what we can do here because we want to have a denuclearized Korean Peninsula. We do not want North Korea with a nuclear weapon. That is detrimental. I mean, talk about nuclear war. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? Talk about a loose cannon, Kim Jong-un, really? And so he started.
We don't need that. I got to keep stopping it so they don't give me a copyright strike. But I do appreciate y'all for watching, man. If y'all are out there watching, man, listen, look, please hit a like for the algorithm. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm about to start taking this YouTube thing very, very, very seriously. So please support the channel, man. The best way that you can support me is just by hitting the like button. I really, really appreciate it.
Started trying to make contact with him, and he was the first president to walk across the DMZ and shake hands with the leader of North Korea to have conversations about getting rid of a possible nuclear weapon with North Korea. That is great.
Imagine Kamala Harris doing that. She's going to be over there laughing, cackling it up. Yo, and honestly, have we ever seen Kim Jong-un laugh? I don't think I've ever seen him laugh before or smile at all.
For the world. Their world leaders did not even try it with Donald Trump because they knew he meant business. When he drew a line in the sand, he meant it. And the proof is in the pudding. So, you know, you can say, oh, well, we're worried about this. You had 4 years. You had no new wars. You had peace agreements instead of wars breaking out in the Middle East. Look at it right now. It is a hornet's nest. And
they don't care about none of that. Everything that she said was straight fact, and they don't give a damn. Because everything that a Republican says is a lie. And they actually live through it. They lived through there being no wars. They lived through Donald Trump being the only president in American history to step foot in North Korea. But they hate Donald Trump so much that you could give them straight facts to their face, even things that they lived through and had experienced. And they still do not care because they hate Donald Trump that much. There is no talking to these people. Once they get in their mind that they hate Donald Trump and they get all their information from MSNBC, from CNN, and from all these other crappy news stations, none of it matters. Donald Trump is bad. Bad man Orange, bad man Trump.
It is very scary, the trajectory from here to what could happen if you don't have the right leadership in the White
But it wasn't
House.
a peaceful transfer of power, and he did lead an insurrection in this country. And I know you keep saying the thing.
What do he mean that it wasn't a peaceful transfer of power? Did Donald Trump try to stay in the White House after his time was up? No, he didn't. And he did not lead an insurrection of this country. The man said peacefully and patriotic. Peacefully and patriotic. If those people decided to go up there and tear shit up, that has nothing to do with Donald Trump. He said, go and protest, but do it peacefully and patriotically. That's what the man said. Keyword, peace. peacefully. Like if my mama tells me to go to the kitchen, right? Go in the kitchen and bring her a spoon or something like that, right? But I go in the kitchen and I start cooking eggs. Is that her fault? Because I decided to cook some eggs when she said to go in there and bring me a spoon. But I go into the kitchen and start cooking eggs. I do the complete opposite of what she told me to do. Is that her fault? I'm just saying.
About the peace and patriotic part. But
He offered National Guard troops to Nancy Pelosi. She didn't want to take it. Look, here's what I can
he
tell
also
you.
said we fight like hell.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
And if you don't fight like hell,
Okay, Charlemagne,
you're not going to have a country anymore.
Every politician, when you go out on the stump,
Even after he got shot
talks
at, which
about-
was terrible, first thing he did when he stood up was say, fight, fight, fight. Fight who?
he wants to keep fighting for this country. And you know,
This ninja's reaching, man. This ninja's reaching. Fight for this country, bro.
this is my father-in-law. I know things get really heated when it comes to Donald Trump. People have very strong.
Oh, not me. I have no emotion with it.
People have very strong.
Nigga, get the fuck out of here. I have no emotions towards this. When you talk about the man every day on your show, I mean every day, even before we got down to the last 2 weeks of the election, every single day, this man has something bad to say about Donald Trump. It's like they can't go a day. In fact, he's been talking about Donald Trump every day for this past 6 months. Every day. But I have no emotional ties to this whatsoever. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about politicians and things like that. I don't like Kamala Harris. But I don't talk about Kamala Harris every day.
Feelings about this man, but gosh, guys, I can tell you, he is not doing this for any other reason than that he knows he can do the job necessary.
Our narcissism.
He wants to save this country.
I always say it's two reasons people run for office. They're either extreme narcissists or they are actual civil servants.
Well, imagine having.
Which one do he think that Kamala Harris is? I know which one she is.
Great life.
She ain't no damn civil servant. She was serving everybody else. And y'all know what I mean. Allegedly.
Imagine giving it all up. Imagine knowing that the very people who were applauding you, who invited you to all the fancy events, who were some of your best friends, knowing, we just talked about this, they're going to turn their back on you. Imagine going through it one time and then saying, you know what, I got to come back and do it again because my work is not done here and I really believe I can do great things for this country.
Or you've gotten indicted so many times, that's your way to stay out of prison.
And you believe that.
When I said he was an idiot, damn it, I meant it. Or you got indicted so many times that this is your way to stay out of prison. Donald Trump was already running for office before these cases were even brought up. He was already running for president. That's the reason why these cases even came up. And Charlemagne knows that. But he won't admit it.
Those were all legitimate.
I don't know if they're legitimate or not, but you know he has the charges. I mean, that's up for the courts to decide. But he did get convicted of 34 of them. I mean, that's for the courts to decide. I don't, it's not my place to say
we
what's
all know
legitimate
that
or
if
not.
his name was not Donald Trump, none of that would have ever seen the light of day. And I believe
Facts. That's a fact. That's a matter of fact. Let me give her the. That's a fact. Let me get this started real quick. One more time. If his name was not Donald Trump, these charges would not have came up. They hate this man that bad that they had to trump up no pun intended, some bullshit charges just to get this man, to try to get him to step out and drop out of the presidential race. Y'all, y'all know this is bull stuff. And then the timing of it. Nobody questions the timing of these charges coming out at all. Like nobody. Be honest, bro. Let me let her finish cooking.
Believe all of those are going to be overturned
Yeah,
because
because I mean, if he wins, he's going to
Overturn him.
No, not because of that. You've already seen movement in that. With the appellate courts have already looked at some of the things, like the Letitia James case. All of it. It's outrageous. It's all outrageous, and it is actually frightening because we should want good people with great ideas, great business leaders, great people in whatever section of the economy they're in, whatever their background. We want good, smart people to run for these offices. And what has happened with Donald Trump, I think, is so sad because it really deters good people from running for office. And we really need good people.
Yep.
We should really want them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Donald Trump is the only person who I believe they know in Washington, D.C., they can't control. And that's a very scary prospect to them because
But is he controlled by Russia, though?
Are you kidding?
Bro, what the hell is he talking about? Is he control? I'm trying to stick through this. Charlemagne is really, really getting on my damn nerves, man. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Is he controlled by Russia, though? That Russia thing has been investigated up and down, side to side, however you want to put it. Spin it around. Donald Trump and Russia have no affiliation like that. None.
Me?
I'm just asking. I'm asking a question. Is he controlled
Charlemagne.
by Putin?
Are you really? We couldn't have colluded
look
with
like that, man?
we couldn't have colluded with Iowa in 2016, let alone Russia. Okay. And by the way, you want to know who did collude with Russia? It was Hillary Clinton and the DNC, and that was proven.
They're not gonna acknowledge that. She's a Democrat and you're a Republican, so it doesn't matter.
They had the Steele dossier. They paid money to get Oppo research and make up stuff about Donald Trump. And guess what happened to them for trying to interfere in an election? You want to talk about the 34 felony counts via Alvin Bragg in downtown Manhattan? That was all about election interference. Hillary Clinton and the DNC admitted to doing this, and they got charged $83,000. Does that seem fair to anybody here? That's outrageous, and it's ridiculous, and every single person knows it. So does Donald Trump have anything to do with Russia? No, you know what he wants to do with Russia? He wants to get along with Russia so that we don't have wars in Europe right now. That's what.
Yo, she made a perfect point, too. She said, does anybody else want to do this? Does anybody else want to get along with Russia? The only thing that Kamala Harris is offering people is money. She's telling everybody that I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. I'm just going to start giving you stuff. But she's not talking about fixing any of these issues. But that's the only thing that Donald Trump really, really talks about. He talks about ending the war in Ukraine, ending the war in Israel, how he's going to get gas prices down, bring grocery prices down, bring energy prices down. Meanwhile, Kamala keeps saying that I'm just going to give you stuff. Interesting.
What he would like to see happen.
Now, his life has been threatened twice in a possibility, right? Because the other ones, they say whatever. So we'll say 3 times. Do you think it was because of his rhetoric, or do you think it's because of the Democrats' rhetoric? Why do you think his life keeps getting threatened like the way that it is? We've never seen this ever in life, and it seems like his life should be protected a lot better than that, especially with Secret Service.
Well,
so what is your
thank you for
thoughts on
saying
that?
That's very nice. I agree with you. I think that when Donald Trump came down that escalator, he was different. He came right out of the gate and started saying things that upset some people, but a lot of Americans resonated with that, and they said, wait a minute, this guy kind of talks like I talk. And I appreciate some of the things he's saying.
He did kill the language of politics. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Now that I do agree with Charlemagne on. All that being polite and having friendly debates and things like that. man, as soon as Donald Trump had became a politician, all that was gone. I mean, there was insults getting thrown left and right. Donald Trump, man, listen. Yeah, Donald, yo, if y'all think I'm lying, go back and watch some of the old presidential debates. Go watch Mitt Romney versus Barack Obama, or go watch John McCain versus Obama, Jimmy Carter versus John F. Kennedy in debates. Bill Clinton when he debated dang it, I can't remember the guy's name. But these people were so polite and so respectful. When Donald Trump came in, it was like, yo ass is going to jail. Just, you know.
He's changed the landscape of politics. And whether you like Donald Trump or you don't, you probably are more invested in politics now than you ever could have imagined because of him. I do think that whenever you have people...
That's a fact. Matter of fact, I need to do a video on how I became a Trump supporter. Matter of fact, that's going to be my next video.
Out there who constantly talk about, we need to take this guy out. He's a threat to democracy. He's this, that, and the other. And you demonize someone so much over and over and over.
Well, his running mate called him Hitler.
Again.
J.D. Vance said he's Hitler.
He's admitted that is...
And Kamala Harris had called Joe Biden racist during their debate in 2020. But he ain't going to call that out, though. No, of course not. Why would he? He's a Democrat.
That obviously he was wrong. He was misled. Here's the thing.
That rhetoric would get you killed, though.
I can imagine if I got my information from the wrong news outlets, that I would probably hate Donald Trump too. But I actually know him. And I'm his daughter-in-law, and I'm part of this family, and I know what he goes through on a daily basis, and I know what he wants to do for this country. The reason why do I think, people have tried to assassinate him? Mm-hmm. I can only assume it's because they don't want him to become president. And I can take that a lot of
That's a fact.
different ways. I can tell you that, being part of this family and seeing what this man has gone through, I give him so much credit. Most people, you get one assassination attempt, you're probably out. Donald Trump is still there, going strong, and he said nothing will ever stop him.
You never want.
And that's the kind of strength that we need in this country. Everybody's so weak right now. Yo, if that would have happened to Kamala Harris, I bet that she wouldn't come outside for probably like a year and a half, maybe, if that.
After that first attempt, just removing the, like the business or the work of the job. As his daughter-in-law, who you have children, that's their granddad, you never wanted him to just not continue.
Well, it's not my decision, it's his decision. I mean, do I think about it? Yeah. My kids were actually watching that. We had that on at our house whenever.
What did they say?
Well, I tried to kind of distract them from it, change the channel where they were. But they want to know, why would somebody try to hurt grandpa?
That's terrible.
What happened?
That's terrible. Imagine having to explain that to your children. I have a 5 and a 7-year-old right now. And my boys, they love their grandfather so much, man. Shout out to my dad, man, but that's terrible, having to explain something like that to them.
Why did somebody do that? And that's a tough one. When your 5-year-old asks you why somebody wants to hurt grandpa, that's a tough one. And, one day they'll be old enough to understand that. But, we all worry about him all the time.
When you hear Trump say things like he wants to terminate the Constitution, to overthrow the results of an election, what do you think about it?
When did Donald Trump say that?
Oh,
bro, get the fuck out of here, man. This ninja.
My God, he said it on Truth Social.
It's the oath of office every president takes. Former President Trump is now taking aim at this founding document. A post from Trump suggesting the possible termination of parts of the Constitution and a read.
Let's read that. So, with the reevaluation of massive and widespread fraud and deception, I've never read this before, but I can see where he's going. I'm going to read that very first line again. So with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception in working closely with big tech companies, the DNC, and the Democratic Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner? Or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type of magnitude allows for the termination of all rules and regulation articles, even those in the Constitution. That's not, they just twisted the hell out of what Donald Trump said. He did not say that he wants to get rid of the Constitution. He was asking a question. He literally was asking a question. He did not say that I want to terminate the Constitution. He was asking a question. With all this fraud and things going on, do we have a new election or do you declare the rightful winner? Because this much fraud that's going on, does that mean that we should terminate the rules and regulations and the articles that are in the Constitution? And then he says at the end of it, our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. What's the problem?
Do of the 2020 election.
That's not what he said. Donald Trump is a strong supporter of the United States Constitution, and he wants free, fair, and transparent elections, and he wants every American, no matter how you vote,
he said it.
to have your opportunity to vote, and only legal votes counted.
What did you think when he said he had every right to interfere in the 2020 election?
Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it?
I think whenever you are the commander-in-chief and you're the leader of this country, you should have every American feeling very comfortable that their vote mattered and their vote.
Absolutely. And a lot of people did not feel that way. Man, come on, man. Listen, we know that election, I'm not even going to come out and say that they flat out cheated. But there was some funny stuff going on. How the hell are dead people voting during the 2020 election? But that don't sound fishy to them at all. Joe Frazier voted in Philadelphia, and Joe Frazier died in 2018, 2017, something like that. And even if if Democrats have wanted for these elections to be fair, tell me why the Biden and Harris administration is suing states right now as of today, right now as we speak, because states are removing illegal immigrants from the voting ballots, from the voter registration. Now, why would they be suing states for doing that? I thought that we all have wanted fair and honest elections in America. Make that make sense. These people who support these people, bro, are pure evil. Are pure evil. You're either evil or ignorant.
Counted. And the problem with 2020 is that was such a crazy election. You had COVID, you had people boarding up windows, places. You had a lot of people with a lot of questions, and those questions never got answered. And instead of actually getting to a place where we could answer those, everybody's like, well, we just got to move on. And so it is his duty, I think, to make sure that everybody feels like their vote was counted. And that's what he was trying to accomplish.
Yeah, but if you're getting asked about, your indictment for interfering with the presidential election, response shouldn't be, I had every right to do that.
You're
Respond any way he wants. He's a grown ass man. I don't know what you mean.
Brag?
No, he got for interfering with the election. So when you're asked about that by NBC, I think it was NBC News. I forgot who it was. He was doing an interview with. Oh, it was with Fox News. When you're asked that question, I don't think your response should be, I had every right to do it.
Well, that was his response, but I tell you what he was trying to do. He was trying to make sure everybody had their vote counted, for sure.
And I understand why you support, your father-in-law. That's your father-in-law. You're the co-chair of the RNC. but his policies, especially towards women, they absolutely take away rights from women. What do you think?
What rights does Donald Trump's policies take away? Matter of fact, let me in on this because I really want to know
About that?
How's that?
What do you mean?
Which rights?
The Roe v. Wade being overturned, women's reproductive rights.
Because for 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it. And I'm proud to have done it.
Like, what are we talking
So
about?
here's the thing that's been very interesting to me about this entire election. It's obviously abortion has become really the number one issue of the Democrats. I think.
which is stupid. Abortion is stupid. Yo, if I guarantee you, if you ask any of these people that abortion is such a big issue to them during this election, if you say, "Hey, which one is more important, abortion or democracy?" I guarantee you that they will say abortion. Fucking idiots, bro. Just idiots.
And I think it's because they know that a lot of what they've done to this country, people are smarter.
And to be honest, I don't even think that a lot of Democrats even know what democracy means. I'm positive that a lot of these Democrats don't even know what democracy means because they still say that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, but they are voting for Kamala Harris. Think about that.
Enough to see. Like it's been bad. People are hurting, like we said earlier. We've already established that. You got wars, you got an open border, you got people with less money in their pocket can't make ends meet. So what do? You say, all right, we got to go hard on abortion. What happened when the Supreme Court said we're going to get rid of Roe v. Wade is that the most democratic of things happened, which is that this went back to the states so that we, the people, actually have the opportunity in our respective states to vote on it. Donald Trump has said he will not sign a federal abortion ban. This should be out of the hands of the federal government. And actually, it's a great thing.
It's a fact. That's one of the great things about being a Republican. We want less government in our business. Less government in our business.
So that here in New York, there might be a vote that is very different than what they might have in Alabama or California or Nevada. It's all up to us, we the people in our respective states. And so I think the talking point that Donald Trump is somehow threatening this is outrageous. He says, I want nothing to do with
But
it.
he takes credit for it. He said, I put the 3 Supreme Court judges on the stand that actually overturned Roe v. Wade.
And you know what? In some places, Charlemagne, it actually means that things are going to be more liberal and they're gonna have a lot longer opportunity for people to have abortions. Some places it might be less, but you know what? That is up to the people of the state.
That's the way that it should be. And a lot of people don't understand because they think that abortion is just banned like all over America, which is not the case at all. You can still get an abortion in every state. In every state, you can get an abortion. Now, if you are raped, if there are incest, you can get an abortion in every state in America. Y'all just want to use abortion as birth control. I mean, whatever. If we gonna be honest, let's be honest. You was having a hot girl summer. You was out there spreading your legs and having you a good old time. And then you get pregnant. It's like, man, you know what? I think it's time for that abortion, man. That's not what abortion is used for. Now, I do think that abortion is a great thing if you actually need it, right? Like, no woman should have to have a baby if she was raped, or no woman should have to have a baby if there was incest. Now, that I do agree with. Or let's say, for instance, if you are pregnant and you're having complications with the baby in order to save your life or something like that, then okay, yes, abortion, fine and dandy. But just using it as contraceptive, man, come on, man. Get out of here.
States and Donald Trump, I think, has been very clear that it should never have been in the hands of the federal government. It should have never been in the hands of the United States Supreme Court to decide. It should be up to the people.
Well, he's moonwalking now. He said some abortion laws are too tough and need to be redone. And he said in his Fox News time,
he's not moonwalking anything. Donald Trump has always spoke like this. Donald Trump has never been against abortion, ever. But here they go with this Democratic talking points. He's never been against abortion, not ever.
Town hall this past Wednesday that they're going to be redone.
Well,
he said they're too tough.
Well, I think that's up to the states, and the states have to vote on it. But he said, I want nothing to do with it. And by the way, while we're on the topic, IVF, something that they've also lied about and said Donald Trump does not want IVF. He is 100% in favor of IVF. He wants more babies, not fewer. And it's sad because that talking point has really taken over things, and people are, convinced of, Donald Trump, as you're saying, is a threat to women's rights. He's not at all. He wants you to decide in your state how you want things to look, and he wants to take his hands off of it.
The way that it should be, abortion should not be in the federal government's hands. Matter of fact, I don't want the federal government telling me to do anything besides the fact that I need to pay taxes. Other than that, get out of my face. I don't want y'all telling me to do shit.
I mean, if you're taking credit for the Supreme Court justices that overturned Roe v. Wade.
But isn't that good so that we can just send it back and we can all vote on it?
No, I don't think.
No,
I think
you'd rather you want more federal government involved than anything?
I think anytime you take away people's power of choice, that's not good on any level.
How?
Well, it's up to us to decide. So everybody get out and vote.
Donald Trump always talks about fake news, right? Mm-hmm. And recently, me and my co-host over here was talking about a commercial we saw, and they chopped up the commercial and put it out. It was fake news, and it was showing that we were going against Kamala Harris and supporting Donald Trump.
Oh, you guys here?
Yes.
That's great marketing. What you mean? That's great marketing. Hey, go ahead, Trump.
You see the commercial?
I know what you're talking about.
It's been all over TV ads. So what do you say about something like that that's fake news that we see so much that was literally cut up and spliced and made look that was totally not what it was?
Well, I haven't seen that one. I know what you're talking. I know what you're referencing. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that one, so I can't really opine on that. But you're saying that not everybody does that?
No, it's fake news. I'm just asking. It's just weird to throw it out there and talk about fake news, but that was totally fake, and it just seemed totally falsified.
Well, I would like to, if you want to pull it up, I'll take a look at it. But
no, that's all right.
I haven't seen that one.
Do you listen to the show?
I do sometimes.
So
Lara Trump actually is a pretty woman, man. She is pretty. She a little Botoxed up, but she look all right. She said, I'll take a look at it. I'm like, hold on. Take a look at what?
Charlemagne has probably given Donald Trump donkey today the most donkey out of everybody.
I'm fair and balanced, though.
That's not surprising at all. He's giving Donald Trump the donkey of the day the most. Not surprising at all.
I give
It's Charlemagne, bro.
It's an accolade, so thank you,
I'm
Charlemagne.
fair and balanced. I give all elected officials donkey of the day.
Yeah.
He just gets a little more.
Well, I like that you say that you're independent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you're not affiliated with any party.
Nope.
That's cool. I like that.
This man has voted Democrat every election. I seen an interview where he said that he has only voted Democrat. And Charlemagne is what, 42, 40, like 43 years old? Well, he's not affiliated with any party. Charlemagne, you are a Democrat, bro. Stop it.
You go based on policy, and I think there are a lot of people out there who feel that way right now. I mean, you've seen a mass exodus of voters from the Democrat Party. You have actually more people in America right now.
I think that's a little overstated, though.
No, there are more people in America in polling right now who consider themselves to be Republicans than Democrats. But I think that we all know that this election and all elections come down to independent voters. So we're working hard for your vote, Charlemagne.
You're not getting it. I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
I don't know. How much longer do we have? How much longer do we
Yeah, man. Well, I'm pretty sure that they was about to end on that. And then really it was only like 2 minutes left in the video. But if y'all are still here, man, listen, I definitely appreciate y'all. I want to say thank you. Thank you for watching me. And I'm going to keep this up, man. Matter of fact, I might do another live stream tomorrow. I might do another one tomorrow. I know that I got a few videos to make on how I realized that I was a conservative. No, when when I realized that I was a Trump supporter or how I became a Trump supporter. So I got those videos coming soon, man. But I just want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, man. If y'all made it to the end of this live stream, I definitely do appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. And Kev Stutters is out. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.